The ideas shared today about parent and child lessons are intended to help during your reopening processes and in no way supersede your local jurisdictions. Please refer to your local authorities for guidelines on reopening pools and beginning swimming lesson programs. Be sure to also check with your authorized providers before implementing changes to your swimming lesson programs.
Hello, my name's Cassie. Josh and I met in 2012 when we had an opportunity to source an alternative swimming lesson provider. Shortly after that experience, I had the opportunity to take that swim school abroad to the United Arab Emirates. I started two swim schools in Abu Dhabi and then spent 4 years working for New York University, Abu Dhabi, where I opened their aquatic facility. I developed and implemented their swim program, started a swim team, and helped develop swimming as a sport in the region. My primary focus and passion was teaching learn to swim programs and instructor development programs, along with water safety education campaigns. I had the opportunity to work with the Emirati military in teaching basic water safety and learn to swim classes. The cultural and language barrier challenges in teaching non native English speakers strengthened my teaching abilities and really forced me to get creative with how I teach. After 6 years abroad, it was time to return to Utah and I reconnected with Josh.
Hello, my name is Josh. After working with Cassie to source a new swimming lesson provider, I became quite passionate about swimming lessons, in particular, innovative implementation of Learn to Swim programs. I gave my first presentation about revolutionizing swimming lessons at AOAP in 2017. Since then, I've presented at NRPA, the SAI Leadership Conference, URPA, and most recently, the Parks and Rec Ontario Conference in Canada. My swimming lesson program ideas were also awarded the Aquatics International Best of Aquatics in 2018. Last year, Cassie and I reconnected and in August began working on innovative swimming lesson programming and formed CJ Swim Group. We recently gave a version of this presentation to our state aquatics group. With the feedback and questions we received, we updated the presentation and are making it available everywhere. This presentation is geared toward aquatic professionals tasked with finding ways to bring swimming lessons to their communities during this time of physical distancing. We're not going to get too detailed about what it is we do and how we do it. You can find that on our website if you'd like. We will tell you why we started though. CJ Swim Group formed because of our combined desire to give those who might not otherwise have had a chance a safe and affordable way to learn to swim. Our mission is to promote water safety and drowning prevention by making swimming lessons affordable and accessible through radical changes to learn to swim programs. Parent-child lessons is one of those radical changes. Since most of us will be running parent-child lessons for some time now going forward, we would like to share with you why the idea is worth beginning and continuing to use and share some implementation ideas for your pools.
In developing our programs, we've switched our focus from child toward the parent. Most traditional swimming lesson programs focus on teaching young children how to swim. We know that drowning is a leading cause of accidental death for young children. However, it's important to note that 63% of all fatal drownings are adults. A major component of the programs we are sharing today is a focus on adults. Children in households where parents do not swim have a 19% chance of learning to swim. We believe that once adults feel comfortable in the water, they will have greater skills to help their child develop swimming abilities.
I believe most aquatics professionals would agree that developing swim skills is important to everyone. So why is it that 79% of children in households making $50,000 or less per year have little to no swimming ability? What part of our programs is unattainable to 4 out of 5 in this economic bracket? Time on task is one of the contributing factors. Time on task is the amount of time a child spends in swimming lessons on task. Most swim programs average about 3 minutes of time on task during a 30-minute lesson. According to my calculations, at 6 minutes time on task, it will take 2 years of swimming lessons and $600 to learn to swim. Double that for a 3-minute average, and we can see how cost and time can make learning to swim inaccessible for many. In addition to time on task and the child focus, we've identified several other problems with the traditional swim lesson model that we believe can be solved with parent and child lessons. So let's talk about how to implement some solutions.
Having run parent and child lessons for years, we've seen how a switch can drastically change a swimming lesson program for the better. Besides having to find a way to maintain social distancing, parent child lessons can be a huge benefit to your programs as well. With a parent in the water, time on task moves from about 10% of lesson time to 75%. Children in our parent child classes progress through lessons much faster than their peers in traditional lessons. Parents now have the skills to help their children continue to practice during pool time outside of lessons. With a parent in the water, it's much easier to reinforce the important message of direct supervision in swimming lessons and around all bodies of water. Aquatic coordinators have a huge burden. Safety of everyone who enters the building, hiring, training, and development of staff, pool maintenance, programming, customer service, and on top of all of that, we are the go-to resource for learning to swim and much more. Sharing with parents the skills needed to teach their children how to swim can help relieve at least one of these burdens. The effects could be multi-generational and exponential.
Every time I've given a presentation about parent and child lessons, I see the same wide-eyed disbelief or fear. In any professional field, there's always some fear of change in regard to how we do things traditionally. Having successfully implemented this type of programming at 3 different pools and having lived to tell the story, I hope we can ease some of the fear that might be percolating under the surface and make this a more attractive solution to swimming lesson programs. One of concern that we often hear, my instructors aren't ready. You're right, chances are your 16-year-old instructor who just took a 20 to 40 hour course isn't ready to teach swimming lessons or doesn't feel ready to interact with and instruct parents and children. Teaching adults can be quite intimidating. However, we find our instructors much prefer having the parents in the class. The parent manages the behaviors and safety of their own child. Parents are quick to ask for help from the instructors if they need it. After teaching several sessions of parent-child lessons, the instructor becomes very comfortable with the format. We also hear that parents wouldn't want to do that. We understand that lessons can often be a timeout for parents. This can lead to registration woes for the aquatics coordinators and teaching challenges for instructors. You'll see many of these problems go away as parent and child lessons become the norm. Parents involved in lessons will gain a better understanding of water safety and of the progress their child is making. One of the most surprising things we found is the excitement around the progress children are making with a parent-child format. We've had parents sign up for traditional lessons at the same time parent and child lessons were happening, and seeing the progress that children were making in the parent-child format, those parents asked to join the traditional lessons with their children. Concern 3, parents don't know how to teach. This is a concern shared by coordinators, instructors, and parents themselves. We equip our instructors and parents to participate in parent and toddler classes. Has anyone asked why we stop doing this when a child turns 3? Parent and child lessons can be just as effective as parent and toddler classes. Once parents have taken one child through lessons, you now have an experienced instructor on your hands. Parents might not know the intricacies of teaching water skills, but they are excited to learn. How many parents out there took classes on how to teach their child how to ride a bike? We can help foster the same kind of excitement parents have about teaching their children to ride a bike and direct it to learning to swim. Why is it that so many more people know how to ride a bike than swim? Biking is accessible and can be done almost anywhere. By incorporating parent and child lessons, you're making swimming lesson instruction accessible and empowering parents to take this lifelong skill into their own hands. For some parents, this will be a little bit harder because of their own abilities to swim. We'll cover that in the next slide.
So, how do we prepare to take on this revolutionary task? First, set clear guidelines. Make sure your parents know what to expect before coming to the pool. Try to anticipate some of the fear and concerns and address those in your educational materials. To help with this, we are going to be putting out some educational videos for parents over the next few weeks that you're welcome to share. Outlining some of the advantages is a great way to educate and empower. Be sure to include time on task, no wall waiting, certified instructors available to guide parents through teaching skills, and of course, family fun time. Next, take this time to share some of the water safety messages available from several sources. Let parents know how great it is to see them in the water with their children and how that it is a layer of protection in water safety. Outline the layers of protection, share the staggering drowning statistics, but focus on how the parents in the water with their children are helping to bring that number down. Then prepare your instructors. They are going to be nervous to be instructing adults now. Let them know that the adults are going to be looking to them for knowledge and make sure they have that knowledge. Ensure that you or a supervisor are there to assist your instructors and make sure they know that they can count on you. And make sure you have a plan in place for parents who do not feel comfortable in the water. Set up a parent prep class to explore the water in a safe and controlled environment. Do a practice class with mannequins. Allow your parents to wear life jackets or use flotation devices during class. Teach in areas where the parent can touch. Allow the parent to practice the skill and pass off the child to the instructor. Make sure parents are aware of all of these accommodations. Reimagining what we teach and how we teach, along with making swimming affordable and accessible, is something we are deeply passionate about, and we're excited to share our developments. Having to reimagine and innovate is something forced upon all of us during this crisis. With this incessant questioning of what can we do and how do we still offer these life-saving services, we hope that these ideas give you some additional tools to reimagine your services.
Having worked months to years on this and other programs, including Propulsion Swim Program, we are excited to see implementation of parent-child lessons on a greater scale. We've heard good things from others who have implemented parent-child lessons, and we hope to hear your success stories as well. You can contact us for any questions not answered today. Be sure to check out our website and get on our mailing list. We will be sharing more resources to help with parent-child lessons and the Learn to Swim response to the COVID-19 crisis. Here are some of our resources that we mentioned today. Dr. Langendorfer is kind of one of our gurus as we've been setting up these swimming lesson programs. That's his picture there. And here is our contact information. We hope you've enjoyed the presentation, and please do reach out to us and let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.